a member of Surfers Against Sewage for, I don't know, since the early 90s, I suppose. Back then, I kind of only really did it for the free sticker and stuff like that, because it was quite cool to get it. But I guess probably about 6 years or so ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, I started working back in Gosport, and actually I could get to the beach every lunchtime. So I would go on there, pick up just for a couple of minutes, and then sort of take a photo, hashtag it, put it on Instagram, and I was kind of doing it every lunchtime. So probably that got me going again with beach cleans, and it's sort of spiraled out of control, if you like, since then. And I was going back, and every day, and there's still loads of stuff there. And then that's when I really started to engage with that community. And then you see everyone else picking up stuff, and I think from there you think, oh my god, actually, that seriously is a problem. And even if you can't go to a beach clean, do a 2-minute beach clean, and just pick a handful of rubbish up, and that will all make a difference.
We're doing the big beach clean, so everyone's going around and picking up plastic and glass. We're cleaning the beach for lots of rubbish, so the animals don't get it stuck in their throat or anything.
Well, we found out about the beach clean, and actually these guys sort of told me about it, so we thought we wanted to come down and get involved. And in the old days, a lot of the boats just used to chuck their rubbish overboard, and that would wash up all here. So you'd have oil containers, fishing nets, flotsam and jetsam, which is an actual term, bits and bobs all over the place. So it has got a lot better, but I think the challenge now is the smaller beads of plastic, the things that we can't really see.
Okay, so here we have jar noodles. So a lot of people get confused and they think these are decomposing plastic, but actually this is the start of plastic production. Everything that's plastic is pretty much made out of these. They also look a lot like fish eggs, so they look quite attractive to animals. They digest them, they swallow them, it gets into the bloodstream. There's evidence to show it's getting into the muscle. And who eats the muscle of fishes? We do. Probably the best find for today. There's this pretty pristine looking Swiddy wrapper. Best before end 1986. 10 years ago, Surfers Against Sewage made a list of all the brands that we were finding on the beach, and we published a sort of dirty dozen, which had I won't say any names, but of the worst offenders, the stuff we were finding most on the beach, and we tackled them at the time, and they all said they were going to do stuff. 10 years on, what we're doing is all the rubbish we're finding, we're looking at brands, and we're listing all the brands, tallying up what we find, and all the beach cleaners around the UK are doing that this week. If you walk in your bathroom and the bath is overflowing, you wouldn't mop the floor before you turn off the tap. We need to stop this stuff, all of this, getting to the beach in the first place, and the only way that that's going to change is by all these manufacturers stopping producing the amount that they are. So this is where it's got to happen. These guys are doing amazing things, but unless we stop the 8 million tons of rubbish that's getting into the ocean every year, it's just an impossible task.
It's funny, you think that making a small jar of tiny little beads is not going to make any difference at all, but it's got to make a difference. I suppose just doing the small part adds up to the big part.
First time I did an organised beach clean and actually had a load of people turn up, I thought, yeah, I think I've done something good today. I just think about your plastic use. Actually as consumers, we actually have a lot of power. I think the manufacturers will say, oh yeah, people want their coconut wrapped in plastic. And we go, actually, no, we don't. No, we don't want it. And the moment we stop buying these products that are wrapped in plastic, for example, they're going to stop putting them in plastic in the first place.
Rice Up is wholly a vegan supermarket, but obviously we have everybody come in. We have our dispensers where people can buy as little or as much as they want, and we have our fruit and vegetables which are all organic, but the profit margin is quite low on those, so that we try to make that all affordable for everybody. I can remember when I was a lot younger that we didn't have plastic bags. We used to have paper bags, or we had a shopping bag, like a basket or a material bag that we went shopping with. And I think, people need to go back to that.
The good news is that actually we can do stuff. We've created this stuff. We can use other stuff. It's not what did we use before? Glass for bottles, whatever. So we can do something about it. As a human race, we can actually make a change. It's something we can affect. Because if not, we're ruining the planet. And it's simple as that. I've seen plastics and stuff on the beach and for years now, and I guess because I think it says as surfers you're kind of interacting in that line between the sea and the tide line, so you kind of see it. When you're walking from the beach and you've got to step over litter or bottles or sometimes we find needles and things like that on the beach. It's definitely having an effect on the sea. The seas are warming. The plastics have got something to do with that, or the pollution has definitely got something to do with that. I'd say it's having a big effect. For me, it's critical that we do it, and it's, if not for me, my children, so for them, we don't, got a given right to be on this planet, so I think it's for us to protect the planet for the next generation, so for my daughter, hopefully for her daughters or her kids. So for me, that's probably the main reason that I do it. I want her to have a lovely planet that she can live on and maybe experience some of the things that I've experienced and have a clean sea that she can play in. And so if you ask me why, that's really why.